Hey there, it's Mitzi. Welcome to my channel. Today I just wanted to give you a quick update on what I've been reading for Cloak and Dagger Christmas, as well as Christie's Missing, because I've also joined in Christie's Missing readathon this past week. And it was fantastic. It was a perfect complimentary readathon for the Cloak and Dagger Christmas because it was to read more Agatha Christie and to celebrate Agatha Christie books as well. So that went perfectly with what I was reading. So what happened was I had picked a couple of Agatha Christie's to read for the Cloak and Dagger Christmas because I want to read through all of the Agatha Christie books. And I had one that's beautiful. It's $4.50 from Paddington and it has foil on the cover. So I knew I was going to read that one, but I wasn't sure what else. And so Janelle from Too Fond of Books, she posts these wonderful videos. It's a series she has for each season of seasonal reads for Agatha Christie, and they're really great. Well, she did one for late fall, early winter, or through the winter. And so she mentioned a couple of books that took place in November, and I immediately wanted to read one of them because I had this book in a vintage copy, and it's Bertram's Hotel, this wonderful book that I have. A friend of mine gave me a whole box of these vintage Agatha Christie's for free. He just gave them to me because he had either found them or he was unhauling them or something, and said if I was interested, he would give them to me. So I have lots of these beautiful vintage copies, and I don't even know what all the titles are. But when Janelle mentioned Bertram's Hotel, I remembered this wonderful vintage copy. I just love this cover. So I said, yes, that's what I'm going to read. And it was fantastic. I loved this book. Now, she mentioned $4.50 from Paddington as well. And I'm holding off on that. I'm going to read that, I think, the week of Christmas. But I read this one first, and I loved it. It's not that long. I think this was like 180 pages. So I could not stop reading, and I got close to the end and I made myself stop so that I could go to bed because I knew I'll stay up another 45 minutes and read and then regret it the next morning. So I waited, but as soon as I got up the next day after I'd gotten the things done on my schedule, I went right back to it. Fantastic book. I highly recommend it. It's a 5-star for Agatha Christie for me. This one is a Miss Marple, and I've only read one other Miss Marple. So I can't really tell you if you're a Marple fan or not how you'll like this one. For me, I loved it. When I went to rate this on my Goodreads though, it wasn't rated that high. And I was like, why? I don't understand. This is like one of the best books I've read this month. And so I read some of the comments, and it was because Miss Marple's not that active in it. She doesn't take a big part in this. She's there, and of course she helps solve the crime, but she's not that active. Throughout the story, you're really following other people, and she is not there. She's just at this particular Bertram's Hotel. But because I haven't read a lot of Miss Marple, that didn't bother me at all. Maybe if I had read a lot of her books, I would want more Miss Marple, but since I've only read one at this point, it wasn't a big deal to me. And again, for me, I loved it. There's this one character in here. His name is, oh, what is his name? He's a clergyman, and I can't think of what his name is. Yeah, Canon Pennyfather. So Canon Pennyfather is a great character in this. It's like I think he's starting to suffer from dementia, so he gets things confused and he goes to the wrong places at the wrong times. Like he has a date, let's say at noon on Friday. Well, he forgets and thinks it's Thursday, that kind of thing. So that makes for a very interesting scenario in this book. And he made the book for me. Canon Pennyfather made the book. It was like to another level with that character. So that for me made it such a great one. It's kind of like how I am with Tommy and Tuppence. Those books are so great because of those characters. I felt the same way about this one. It just added something to it. And halfway through, I was shocked. I was like, oh no, this is not what's happening. And then at the end, I was shocked again. So this one really surprised me. and I thought it was a fantastic read. Immediately after I finished this one, I posted on Instagram some of my other vintage books that I have from that stack that my friend gave me, and said, okay, I'm ready. Which one next? Because I just loved this so much. And so on that one, Naomi mentioned one. I can't remember which one she mentioned, but then Janelle mentioned one too, and she said to read Nemesis next. And I thought, well, that's a Marple, and so maybe I should just go ahead and start reading some of the Miss Marple books. And again, loved the cover of this one. I said, okay, well, I'll read Nemesis next, because Janelle had told me to read this one. So I said, well, I'll just read the one that Janelle had mentioned, Nemesis. It was great too. Now, I liked this one better, but this still was a fantastic read. Quick read, really enjoyed it. Again, it's a Miss Marple. Now, in this one, she's very active in this one. It's about, and I'm wondering if you've read these, you probably know, because at the very beginning, she is called to an assignment, basically. There's this man who has passed away, and he has left her an assignment, basically from the dead. This, like, last thing for her to do. And she doesn't know him that well, but they had met on this, it might have been a cruise or something. I can't remember, but it sounded like it must have been one of her previous mysteries. So if you know, let me know. It probably was. But on this particular vacation, she met this guy and they solved this mystery together, apparently. And so he was depending on her to solve another mystery for him after he had passed away. So that made it super interesting. So she goes on this other trip, basically, and some more interesting characters. She meets some more interesting characters. There's these sisters in this one that make it really interesting. These three sisters make it very interesting, and so it keeps you guessing. So I really like that about it. Highly enjoyed this one too. It was a 5-star read as well. Again, it wasn't to me as great as this one, but I really enjoyed it. And so I'm excited to read more Miss Marple, because the only Miss Marple I've read was The Body in the Library. And I liked that one okay, but it didn't excite me like this one did, or this one. Both of these were fantastic to me. So I look forward to reading some more Miss Marple. I'm going to read 450 from Paddington. I don't know if that's a Miss Marple. I think it's a Miss Marple. I'm not sure, but I think it actually is another Miss Marple. So I guess I'll just be on a Marple roll during December, because I am planning on reading that too. So anyway, I read these for Christie's Missing as well as Cloak and Dagger Christmas. Now, there's several things of the Cloak and Dagger Christmas, the reading prompts, that are not necessarily reading things. Like, one of them was 9 ladies dancing. Have a festive night in or out to get into the festive cheer. We went to see Elf. It was a musical, a play that was put on by our local community playhouse. And it was local actors that put on the musical, The Elf. And it was based on the little movie that you've probably seen. So we went to see that, and it was a really busy day for me. I was actually tired because I don't get out much. And so we had church, and we have 2 services in the morning. So we have to be there early. It takes a long time. And for 2 services, it's a pretty long morning. So we left church, grabbed us something to eat real quick, and then went to see the Elf musical, and had a great time with the family, spent the day with them. And then that evening, we went back to the church because my son was playing bass for a kids program that they were having at the church. So it was just a full day. I was gone all day. It was a lot of fun, but I was really tired when I got home. And so this morning I was watching a couple of videos, and I was watching Krista from Books and Jams, and she had not felt well last weekend, but she vlogged anyway. And in the vlog, she is suffering a cold. She's got a cold, and she says, well, I'm going to do a cleaning sprint for like 15 minutes. And I thought, okay, girl, I need to get up. I mean, she's suffering a cold and getting up doing something. So she encouraged me to get up and video, because I was in this mood of, I'm exhausted. I don't want to do anything. But Christie encouraged me to go ahead and just get to it. And and I feel better. I'm already energized by just getting up and moving around. But it was an exhausting day for me because usually on Sunday we have those 2 services, and after that I come home, I eat my lunch, we usually have coffee and dessert, and I kind of just, I'll either nap or read a book, and I just pretty much do nothing else for the rest of Sunday evening. So it was a busy day, but again, it was a lot of fun, and I was able to check off the 9 ladies dancing for the prompts on the Cloak and Dagger Christmas. And I know I am mighty chatty today. I apologize. I thought this would be a 2-minute video. Okay, so on the prompts for Cloak and Dagger Christmas. Again, I participated in the Christie's Missing with those 2, so thank you to the host of the Christie's Missing because it was fantastic, and it prompted me to read these books that I probably wouldn't have gotten to yet, so thank you for hosting that one. But for the Cloak and Dagger Christmas, I have now, let's see, 3 French Hens, the prompt 3 French Hens, different country from your own. I used Bertram's Hotel for that. 6 Geese a-laying, have a cozy time eating Christmas treats, and watch a cozy mystery. So for that one, my husband and I watched this cozy mystery. I just found one for free, and it was Shadow Island's Mystery. Apparently that is like a series of mysteries, but this particular one was called The Last Christmas, and it was about a resort, Shadow Island's resort. And the grandfather would have these mystery games on Christmas Eve. And so this one takes a really different turn on Christmas Eve, and they're basically solving a murder in this one. So it was okay. It wasn't like my favorite movie, but it was a nice way to spend the afternoon with my husband. So I did that for 6 Geese a-laying. But then I went to the library and I picked up another cozy mystery. I don't know if this is cozy or not, but it's a mystery, and it's Midsummer Murders. I've heard of those, but this is the holiday pop-up collectible, and it is the Christmas Haunting. And I don't know if you know anything about this, but I thought I checked it out from the library for free, so I will watch this one sometime this week as another mystery to watch for the Cloak and Dagger Christmas. Why not? And I am participating in T and All the Books is doing the 25 books of Christmas and 25 movies of Christmas, so I can count this for that too. Okay, so 6 Geese a-laying. And then 7 is 7 Swans a-swimming. Have a soak in the bath, go for a swim, or walk in the rain or snow. Well, I could count I ran in the rain because it was raining yesterday. And when we left the Elf play, the musical, I had to run to the car. Does that count because it was raining? Probably not. I probably need to do something else for that. So 9 ladies dancing I did, and then 12 was 12 drummers drumming. Listen to a crime narrative of their choice, and I actually read this, but I also had it on an audio version. So I'm not very good at listening to mysteries, so what I did was I read it as I listened, and actually it was a lot of fun doing it that way, but I wanted to fulfill that prompt, so having the actual words physically in front of me and listening was a great idea, and I think it really added to this story as well. So I'm not sure who the narrator was, but it was a great narrator for that. So I have fulfilled several prompts, at least 4 prompts, so I am at the level amateur investigator. But I do plan on doing lots more, and I will keep you posted on what else I do for Cloak and Dagger Christmas. Thank you to the host, because this is a wonderful way to spend my holiday during the Christmas season. I love cozy mysteries, and I'm really enjoying my Agatha Christie. I do have another one that I've started, and I think I maybe mentioned this one. It's Tied Up in Tinsel, and that was for Partridge in a Pear Tree because it's alliteration. But I've only read like 2 chapters, and I just wasn't feeling it. I'll go back and see, but if not, I have some others that do have alliteration as the title, so we shall see. Let me know if you're participating in Cloak and Dagger Christmas or what you're reading right now. Do you have some festive plans for the holidays? Let me know that too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.